Sergei Dragunov is officially here, and honestly, I'm surprised, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I did a video on this a while ago talking about which characters I thought were going to get a gameplay trailer next, and so far my theory of them using the United States website as an order for the gameplay trailers was right, until now of course. So with Dragunov finally getting a gameplay trailer, let's go into his backstory and learn a little bit more about him. Sergei Dragunov, White Reaper, which is just a sick name. Country of origin, Russia. Style, Commando Sambo. Sergei Dragunov is a user of Commando Sambo and is feared for his alias, the White Angel of Death, a name he earned through his sheer and overwhelming combat prowess. While the world was embroiled in armed conflict between the Mishima Zaibatsu and G-Corp, Dragunov joined the King of Iron Fist tournament with a certain goal in mind. However, midway through the tournament's organizer, Heihachi Mishima, goes missing, bringing the competition to a halt. Dragunov returns home and in recognition of his dedication to his work is granted an extended leave for the first time in his life. Dragunov is known for his extreme work ethic, so much so that it's rumored he works in his sleep. However, upon returning to his home, it's as if he has a spring in his step. In his study, Dragunov opens a safe and removes an ancient notebook with an eerie cover, which he begins to examine. The usually cold-hearted Dragunov seems to be in high spirits as he writes. From his unsettling manner, it is clear that it can only be one thing, a list known and feared as the Angel of Death's list. However, in reality, is nothing more than a bucket list of things that Dragunov has been saving up to do when he finally gets some extended free time. While drinking a cup of homemade Sabitten? I don't know what that is. To warm himself, Dragunov reads over the notebook, humming a tune and nodding in apparent satisfaction. After reflecting upon his younger self, Dragunov chooses a task that will be particularly difficult to achieve. With that new aim in mind, he sets out to accomplish his goal. Alright, so first things first here. On the website and in the gameplay trailers, all the characters have like their nicknames that they go by. For Kazuya, it's the Cold-Blooded Oppressor. For Jin, it's the Lightning of Fate. Those are just two examples. Dragunov's being White Reaper is so cool, which I'm assuming the white is because of his country of origin being Russia and all the snow there, and then Reaper for how deadly he is. Probably sounds like me just stating the obvious, but it sounds so cool. Definitely a name to be feared. With Dragunov being a member of the Special Operations Unit in Russia, he'll sometimes have conflict with the United Nations, and that's why we see in his trailer he has a special intro with Victor, which I was not expecting, but it makes sense. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume they are not friends, because Victor's over here trying to cut him down. But many times before this, he's been sent by his military to investigate the Mishima Zaibatsu by joining the King of Iron Fist tournament. Now I could be wrong, but in his bio here, when they talk about him joining the King of Iron Fist tournament, and then in the middle of the competition it gets put to a halt, with Heihachi going missing, I'm assuming it's talking about the end of Tekken 7, when Kazuya kills him. And with Tekken 8 only taking place 6 months after the events of Tekken 7, that means Dragunov has been on a pretty extensive leave of absence, just kind of chilling and checking off his bucket list. Another cool thing here is when we got a look into the character episodes, and I did a breakdown of this when it was first announced. And one of the pictures, it looks like, here we can see Dragunov sitting on his couch, looking like he's opening something, and there's a bunch of boxes around him, so I'm thinking those are action figures maybe he collects, I don't know. But you can see a Mokujin on the table there, so maybe Mokujin action figures are a thing in their world? For his extended leave of absence this whole time, he's just been building his collection of action figures. You gotta love it. Now at the end here it says, after reflecting upon his younger self, Dragunov chooses a task that will be particularly difficult to achieve. With that new aim in mind, he sets out to accomplish his goal. So what is that task? Of course, there are many things that it could be. I'm thinking it most likely has to do with the Mishimas though. Since he was a part of previous Iron Fist tournaments but was restationed, I'm wondering if it's a mission that he wants to finish on his own, whether the army gives him the go-ahead or not. I'm just wondering what role he's gonna play in the overall story for Tekken 8. But that is all I got for today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to stay up to date on everything Tekken 8, even when the game releases, I'll be posting news, tips, and tricks. And I live stream every Tuesday and Saturday. But that is going to do it for now. And as always, you'll see me in the next video.